Hello. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to Monday Night Live. This is your girl, Mommy So True. My goodness, it's another Monday night. All right, we're going to silence this phone because today you guys have been blowing me up more than usual. I love it though. I love it. But let me go ahead and silence my phone because it's going to be important that I get this message out on today. Woo, y'all! Mother's Day is around the corner. Today's special. Today is special. I have a special message on today, so I'm really excited for those of you who are going to be able to be here today. Those of you who are blessed enough to join the live, welcome on. Hello, everybody. It's Mommy So True. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, I'm not going to stop too much to read comments, but I will be looking over occasionally, trying to check in and see what you guys are saying to me. But I want to talk to y'all today. I want to talk to my survivors. I want to talk to my warriors and my thrivers. Let me check in real quick with some of my beautiful subscribers. Good evening, Miss Elisa Williams. Hello, beautiful lady. Hello there, Miss Queen Leandria. You know, I had to shout you out, lady. I love you so much. Good afternoon, wherever you are. If it's morning, hello to you. I don't know what side of the world you're checking in from, but hey, anyways, if it's sunshine, hello. Whatever it is, I just want to say hello to you guys and welcome you on to the live. Hello, Miss Laura Thompson, Vince Brown. Hello, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for you are thrivers and survivors of narc abuse. You guys, this thing is real. So we need a support system. So then here is this community. I created it through the pain. I've created this community, and I cannot tell you how grateful I am for all of you guys to watch the way you guys love on each other, the way you guys love on me. It's so unremarkable. Like I cannot tell you guys how much I'm so grateful for all of you. I have the biggest support system in the world right now. And I am so blessed. I'm so grateful. And the more you guys show me you are there with me and you're thriving with me and you're survivors as well, it helps me to go. So thank y'all so much. So much gratitude to you guys. This is water. To all my saints, this is water. Don't start calling me an alcoholic now. I know y'all saw me drinking earlier, but it's not what y'all thinking. It's not that deep, okay? That's why I'm talking about today, because Mother's Day is here this week. My title on today's live is "You Survived a Narcissist Because You Were Born into Survival Mode." This may resonate with thousands. This may resonate with millions. This may resonate with so many more people than I may think, because guess what? We were all born. We all were born. We all came out of somebody, whether it was a C-section or you got pushed out. You were birthed out of a female. You were birthed because a man and a woman got together and they formed you. Okay, you went from being all these cells to being this embryo to being this infant to being who you are today. And fortunately, for those of you who've endured narcissistic pain your entire life, fortunately, you were born into survivor mode. It hasn't always felt fortunate, but it's been fortunate because this is the very reason why you've been able to survive a narcissist. This is the very reason why you are surviving a narcissist, or that you can survive a narcissist. So many of you, however you were born into this world, however you came into this world, whoever started it off with you, they forced you to be a survivor. They have played a major role in your strength, a major role in why you are who you are today. So it's so important to talk about it. Why not talk about it, being that Mother's Day is coming up? And this has nothing to do with just being a female. A lot of what I'm going to say today may sound like I'm just talking about a woman, because I am a woman. But it goes to everybody. When we talk about narcissism, you guys, it has nothing to do with sex. It has nothing to do with you being a woman or a man. It all intertwines. You could have had a narcissistic mother, you could have had a narcissistic dad, you could have had both. So it does not matter. So if I'm saying mom and if I'm saying daughter tonight, if you're a man, it's son and it's mom, or it's son and it could be dad. And tonight it can also be daughter and dad. The narcissistic family dynamic is deep, but it applies the same way for both a woman and a man. So today I want to share with you my perspective, my thought, and what I need you to understand about the fact that you were born in survival mode already. Already, so many of you follow my channel, you follow me and my journey because you haven't just dealt with a narcissist spouse. You haven't just dealt with somebody who you were in love with that broke your heart. You've probably been heartbroken by your family. And so they've already programmed you to be a survivor. They've already programmed you to be a survivor. First of all, you never had a childhood. We're going to start there. So many of you never had a childhood. You grew up learning to always tippy toe around and be on guard. Okay. You were never able to trust anyone because you couldn't even trust your own mother. You couldn't trust your own father. So you've grown up to be a person who just really actually don't trust human beings very much. It's very hard to. It's very hard to. You grew up as an isolated child. You grew up as a denied child. You grew up as an incompetent child. And there is so much facts surrounding why this happened. There's so many facts in the psychology world that explains narcissistic personality disorder. But I promise you and I guarantee you, somewhere along that trail, mom or dad carried narcissistic tendencies. And it made you suffer from the time you came out and came into this world. You've spent your life wondering, why am I a part of this family? Why did God put me with these people? Why am I so abandoned? Why am I left out? Why do I feel like I don't belong here? so, so many of what you endured from the beginning, it's exactly what you went through with the narcissist. And we're going to get into that, you guys. So, the incompetent child, the denied child, the isolated child, these are all components of something in psychology known as nullification, you guys. When we talk about narcissistic nullification, this is the phase of your life where either as a son or a daughter, you don't feel appreciated. You don't feel like you received support or encouragement. And because of that, eventually you gave up on your own goals in life. You gave up on yourself because now you just needed to aim to please the parent. Whatever it is they were okay with, whatever it is they expected, that became your dream. Okay? This is nullifications. When the activities that you did met mom's needs, but it still wasn't enough for her. This is nullification. Okay. When you have tried to be useful your entire life and still had not been seen. Okay. You grew up feeling the need to overgive, excessively overgive to prove your love because that's what you've been doing with your parents. So, for so many of us, the dynamic of why we are in love with a narcissist and why it has been hard is because this is what we've been conditioned to love: abuse. The other component of this is demonstration of power. Mom and dad have been your biggest demonstration of power your entire. A parent is supposed to guide, but are they supposed to be all powerful over you and controlling? Absolutely not. That is narcissistic. When what mom approves of is what you're happy with. That is demonstration of power. When you as a daughter or as a son start to feel trapped, there is demonstration of power because there's shame of being honest about what's happening at home. There's a lot of shame behind what you're actually going through. And you went through this with the narcissist. Pay attention. A lot of this is a very big replica of your relationship with the narcissist. Feeling like you have no value, feeling like you can't do nothing right, Feeling inferior in your identity, imperfection, feeling like you're not perfect or you're not good enough or everything you do just does is it don't work out. It just did not work out. Narcissistic moms and dads take away your independency. They take away your ability to think and make decisions for yourself. They always made decisions for you. In the beginning, all of this was intended to destroy you because it is narcissistic behavior, and all it did was affect you mentally. But God being so good, they just built a warrior. They created a warrior. Since the beginning of time, you've been inflicted with pain. By the time you ran into the narcissist, you were armed up. You've always been in this survival mode. This is what you know. This is what you do. Being abused, although you've seen it and you might be used to it, you don't tolerate it. You can't tolerate it. You've had enough actually already before the narcissist came in. You were already tired. You were already fed up. Mentally, you've already had enough. You came with a guard and with an armor because you've been through this already. The narcissist was a reminder for those of us who went into a partnership and a love relationship with a narcissist after leaving our own parents' homes. The narcissist was a reminder of how mom and dad treated you, a reminder of how you've mistreated yourself because of how mom and dad treated you. This is why I always talk about how the narcissist comes to wake us up. They've come to wake us up, you guys. Let me jump back into these components here of being a child of a narcissist and how it played a role in you being a survivor. The negative fact of having a narcissistic parent led to learning to be secretive, learning to be quiet, learning to be silent. And you into your relationship with a narcissist. This played a role into why we ignore the red flags. We've been programmed to be silent. We've been programmed to just sit back and be like, okay, maybe that's not what I'm thinking. Maybe that's just okay. Nah, you've been programmed to like what's not good for you. That's what narcissistic parenting does. You've been programmed to hate everything that actually should be of a benefit for you. You've been programmed to like what the parent likes versus what you truly like or what you truly love. So many of us wound up in marriages with a narcissist because we were looking for people that fit that category of mom and dad without even really noticing that we were doing it. Without noticing that we were doing it. The narcissistic mother or the narcissistic father that creates this child that is denied, this denied child, that comes with feeling threatened because a narcissistic parent threatens you. That comes with violence. And that comes with no protection. You got all of this in your narcissistic relationship. The denial, which most of you know as being invalidated, taken away, making you feel devalued, threatening you. So many of you dealt with abusive relationships. You also dealt with that at home growing up. The violence, being punished for things you did not do. The narcissist did the same thing. But the difference between you when you were a child with your mother and now you with a narcissist, they're dealing with a giant who is also a warrior. Back then you were a kid, you couldn't fight back. It was impossible. It was scary. There was too much fear there. But throughout your existence, all of these years, all of this time, you have fought a different type of fight because of your parents. And if it's built a survivor, they put you in survivor mode every time they punished you for something you didn't do. They put you in survivor mode every time they criticized you, every time they made you feel small and not good enough. They put you in survivor mode. So now the narcissist comes into your life and it seems like you're just this weak vessel because you wanted to give them a chance. This is not mom and dad. You just have a longing for love, a longing for acceptance, a longing for a relationship. That's all you're looking for. To them, you came off as stupid, as too vulnerable, as too open until they forced you to show that you are a survivor. They forced you to put on that survivor gear, to put on that armor, to start fighting back different, standing against them different, setting boundaries. You started shocking them with your behavior by showing them you're not this dummy. You've been a survivor. You've been born into survival mode. You had a very messed up, heartbreaking childhood already. You already came from bad. You came from liars. You've dealt with this evil type of thing already. So it did not really take much for you to catch on to what the narcissist was doing in your relationship. The narcissist was dealing with nothing but a survivor. Mom and dad gave birth to you and put you in survival mode. All of this pain didn't do nothing but create a beast. That's why so many of you, after being discarded by a narcissist, after the relationship has went sideways, you are becoming a better you. The beast inside of you is coming out, is pushed out. It's being pushed out because this person has been being created your whole life. Every time somebody came in your life and hurt you, they've added on to these qualities. They've added on to you being this beast that you are now. So many of you still kind of doubt the strength that you have, but it's in there. It is in there. I'm telling you, narcissistic abuse is only there to show you your strength because it's there. If you've endured all of this and you're still are, I want you, those of you who have issues with moms and dads, you don't have to call them for Mother's Day. You don't have to call them for Father's Day, but you need to show some gratitude because they put you in survival mode when they gave birth to you. Everything they did to you made you who you are now. It's because of them that a narcissist is somewhere scratching their head about you. They're confused. They're confused about you. They don't know what they've encountered. They encountered you and have lost it. They don't know what's going on. You brought a whole different type of experience into their world. Whoa, what is this? Who is this? I've encountered somebody strong. This is weird. This is weird. You're too strong. How are you still moving on and carrying on after everything that has been done to you? Because you've been born in survival mode already. You've been born into survival mode already. You were born for this. You were born to be able to kick these narcs in the butt. Whatever mom and dad intended, it backfired. It actually, it did the opposite. It was supposed to make you weak. It was supposed to take you out of here. It was supposed to kill you. It was supposed to make you a bad mom or a bad dad. But look at you. So many of you are some beautiful people, and I talk to y'all and you guys confirm your background. And I'm like, what? This is what they've created, this beautiful person? Man, what the devil meant for your bad definitely turned out to be good for you. The narcissist could not kill you, could not break you, could not keep you down because you've been born a survivor. You were born into survival mode already. A child that was born to be denied. Look at you. You're undeniable now. Oh my God, you got somebody somewhere just lost, confused, can't believe that you've taken your love and ran away and left with it. You're so amazingly and beautifully strong. Your narcissistic family members, now that you're older, they can't even look at you the same. So many of you have gained the strength to learn how to deal with them from a distance. And the respect is different. They've taught you how to deal with them in a way that they didn't even know they were teaching you. They've taught you how to fall back. They've taught you how to move in silence. This is all part of you being a survivor. This is all part of you being a warrior. They've taught you how to walk on this earth without explaining too much, telling too much. Because like I said in the beginning, that narcissistic mom or dad, they ripped trust away from you a long time ago. You're walking this earth not trusting anybody. You don't have any trust. They took that away from you. They took that away from you. So now you have to kind of, I'm sorry. I caught a glimpse of somebody's message and that okay. You guys are hitting me with some resonating words. I'm trying so hard not to stop and just go in on these comments, but I have to a little bit because I have so many people on here that resonate with me. And I do want you guys to know that I'm looking here. Jacob, your messages are catching my eye today. Um, what I've learned is that when the devil cannot get you, he will send a narc. All jokes aside, the attacks get worse with discernment. Ooh, wow, that is a deep topic. Because I do want to talk about that one day. The attacks get worse with discernment. That's deep, Jacob. I saw that and I was like, ooh, that caught me. You guys, it's so crazy. The most deepest words just kind of throw me off. I get so caught up in deepness. I love in depth wording. But anyways, y'all, back to what I was talking about. So I just really want everyone to understand the reason why I refer to us as warriors, as survivors. The reason why it's so easy for me to sit down and be positive and encouraging is because I understand for my own self how being born in survivor mode has saved my life. My entire life, it didn't feel like that. My entire life, I felt like I wondered what it would be like if my mother was normal. My entire life, I felt like still hardships, and I still had to always find ways to overcome it. And I was always alone. I was always so isolated throughout my life. But that has built mommy so true. I've always had to go into that survival mode over and over and over and over in my life, but it was so necessary because by the time I encountered a narcissist in a marriage, I had enough strength to know that this is not for me. I had enough strength to know that I need to walk away no matter how much this hurts. I had enough strength to know that I felt this pain before, and this is not where I want to be. I've always been in survival mode. It's always been there because I grew up in a constant state of paranoia as an effect of narcissistic parenting. Always living in fear, looking over my shoulders, trying to see if I'm doing something good enough for everybody around, trying to overachieve, trying to do more than what's necessary just so I can get someone to compliment it. Looking for love, thirsty for love. It got to a point where I had to see how unhealthy some of the things I was doing was. And that helped me become the warrior that I am now. The activation of being a survivor eventually teaches you how to be a better you, how to develop into a better you so that you can be a warrior. You need to be a warrior forever, not just right now because a relationship ended. You need to be a warrior for the next relationship. You need to be a warrior for your next child. You need to be a warrior for the child you have now. So, as the pain has been inflicted all of this time, it's been doing nothing but creating a survivor. It's been doing nothing but building you up so that you can survive this. You're going to encounter narcissists all your life. I'm sorry, y'all. We're not going to dodge narcissists forever. But what we can do is, as survivors, we can be wise and we can stop allowing them to get us how they've had us before. A narcissist should never be able to tear you down the way that the previous narcissist has at this point for all of my survivors. We've been in survivor mode for so long, and it has gotten us here. It's gotten us to where we can now see ourselves as winners, as champions, because we are. We've survived so much. We survived mom and dad, and then we survived the narcissistic spouse. That's because since the beginning, the survivor in you was activated. There's no way the narcissistic spouse was ever going to take you out of here. That's undoable. It's impossible to dim your light. Mom and dad couldn't do it. There's no way the narcissistic spouse is going to do it. It's not going to happen that way. It's just not set up that way. It's just not set up that way. As a survivor, because you lacked trust from your parent. You weren't protected. Narcissistic mothers and narcissistic fathers do not protect their children. And because of the lack of protection, they open a door for other people to come in and abuse their children. But in the midst of being abused as a child, they activated a survivor in you because, for one, a child being abused in a narcissistic environment is forced to grow up fast. So then that child has to turn into a parent. So many of you, you parented your narcissistic mom or dad. And that is why you are such a survivor. From such an early age, you've carried on some things that just were just too heavy and too much. You carried on their burdens and yours. That is a lot. Enough to have been intended to kill you and take you up out of here, but it did not, because it was activating the survivor in you the whole time. The whole time. Every time you've cried, you've gotten stronger. Every time you've tried to figure out why me, why this, you found some information that helped you figure it out a little bit more. So many of you discovered the word not being an empath to being a super empath. You are an activated survivor. This has been going on. It's been an ongoing journey for you. Every time you get hurt, the more you get hurt, the stronger you become. The more they talk about you, the more smear campaigning is going on, the more you sitting somewhere working on yourself even more. They keep pushing you to want to be better. The survivor in you was never going to die. These people did it. They can be mad at you, but they did it. You forced me to be this person, whether you hate it or not. You created the survivor in me. Narcissistic abuse forces you to go through so much in life. So many of you have had to be homeless. You've lived without so much. You've gone without money, without jobs, without help. So many financial burdens. So many financial burdens. You never thought you even get out of it. Some of you are going through it right now. But there is no giving up bone in you, because all it does is make you stronger. All it does is make you stronger. You survived a narcissist because you were born into survival mode. You're not created to fail. Since the beginning, you were a survivor. Since the beginning, you were born to make it out of this, because your final destination is not failure. Your final destination is not depression. You're not about to stay where the narcissist left you at. No, you were born to thrive out of this, because the narcissist is doing everything to you that narcissistic parent tried to do to you. And that parent was not successful. They hurt you. They delayed life a little bit. They did a lot. They got in the way a lot. But you survived it. They activated the survivor in you every time they hurt you. I am telling you, this is the truth. Dealing with a narcissistic spouse did not bring out the survivor in you. You've always been a warrior. It just had to wake you up so that you can fully stand straight and recognize what you're called to be. What you're called to be is not to be subject to a narcissist. You're not called to be stuck where they've planned for you to be stuck at. Narcissistic parenting is intended to keep you stuck somewhere that's beneficial for that parent. So many of you, God is showing you by taking away some of these people. As painful as it sounds, these parents don't stick around forever. God starts to free you by letting them go eventually. And you start to see that you've survived it. And your grandchildren get to reap a better version of what you did not have. It's a blessing in disguise. They've been creating a warrior this whole time. They've been creating a warrior this whole entire time. There is no way a narcissist can come into your life, abuse you, misuse you, and keep you there. It's not set up that way. It's not set up that way, not for you. There are some who are weak to the narcissist and will never leave, will never break away because they're so trauma bonded. But the survivor in you could not stay. You pulled away. You've been pulling away. So many of you were married for years, but you were pulling away. Through those years, you were pulling away slowly. Slowly. You already had survived them, but you had to figure out how to get away from them. You've been survived them. You've been overcome them. Sometimes we have to keep going through relationships with narcissists until we finally get it. Getting it is when you get self-love intact with yourself. When you figure out, oh, okay, that denied child, that incompetent child, that isolated child actually has some strength, actually has something that the world needs, actually has something important to do. I have something to give my children. So I'm going to survive. I'm going to make it through it for their sake. The abuse teaches you to not be like them. So you see the survivor in you, believe it or not. They're watching and witnessing the testimony that you have become. Because that's what you are, a living testimony. You survived the narcissist because you were born into survival mode. This is what you were. This is where you were supposed to be. You were supposed to be somewhere sharing your testimony like we're doing on this channel. I talked about this being a community in the beginning because that is so important to point out. There are so many survivors. Look at you guys. Look at these comments. Look at how you interact with these people. It's just a confirmation for me to know that you're just a diamond that's been you were a diamond being created in this whole process from the beginning of time. The narcissists that you've encountered in your life, you survived them because you're a survivor. You're a survivor. Everything you gave them, you're now learning to give yourself and to give to people who deserve it. You're loving on each other in these comments. You're showing me how empathetic you guys really are when I watch the way that you respond to each other. I'm like, look at all of these survivors. Look at all of these people who were intended to be killed. The devil tried to destroy and take you out, but you have been surviving them because you've been in survival mode. God knew you had to go through this, so you've been in survival mode. Some of you have dreams and things get revealed to you for a reason. You've been in survival mode. You're encountering strength from somewhere. Sometimes you don't know where it's coming from because you're in survival mode. You're in survival mode. You have the wisdom. You know when to pray. You know when to go and ask for some strength. You know when to ask for wisdom. You've always been in survival mode, and that is what gets you through this. Survivor mode. It teaches you how to get strength, where to get it from. Your survivor mode is what gets you out of the bed and keep you going after all of this has happened. You survived the narcissist because you were intended to win. You survived the narcissist because you were intended to win. I will always say that. I will always say that because the pain that is inflicted on us by narcissistic abuse is very painful. It's painful to the core. And to survive it is amazing. Anybody who is surviving a narcissist, you're still finding the strength to make it every day. You're still figuring out ways to carry on. You're mustering up the strength to get up and still love on your kids, even though you didn't get that. Mom didn't give you that. Dad didn't give you that. But although they didn't give you that, they gave you enough for you to want to give it to your child. That's a survivor. They've created a warrior. Every time you were denied love, it made you want to make sure you never deny love to yours. That was putting you in survival mode. So many of you are great mothers and great fathers because you didn't have that. You were able to survive all of this because you've been put in survival mode without even asking to be put in survival mode. So you need to start being grateful. I talk about gratitude a little bit more lately because honestly, y'all, we have so much to be thankful for when it comes to the narcissist. Thank you for hurting me. Thank you for trying to hurt me. Thank you, mom and dad, for the lack of love because it forced me to want to learn what love looks like from a parent. Thank you for activating the survivor in me. Thank you for putting me in survival mode because you've made me refrain from rushing into wanting to build a family because I don't want to just rush it. I want to make sure I'm healed. I want to make sure I'm okay because I know I'm not. The abuse left a long-term effect on me. So activating my survival mode means working and healing on me before I let it run down on someone else, before I let the generational curse linger on to my own. So my gratification is real when I say, thank you, narcissist, for the pain. Thank you for putting me in survival mode. I needed that. I needed the self check. I needed to be self aware of my own tendencies. Thank you. It hurt so bad, but it taught me so much. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be able to survive you because you put me in survival mode. You forced me to be the beast that I am now. Thank you. That is what a survivor does, y'all. You thank the person who intended to hurt you. We got to thank the enemy. Thank you for trying to kill me. It didn't work. It made me better. It made me stronger. It made me a better mom, a better dad. It made me make sure that my child doesn't have this story. It made me make sure that I don't marry another one. This time I'm going to be careful. I'm going to take my time. It put me in survival mode. Now you're going to check things off the list. You're not going to ignore red flags. It puts you in survival mode. Now you're going to be smarter about the way you move in life. You survived the narcissist and they've put you in survival mode. Now hoovering is not so easy. It's not so easy to just hoover you. It's not so easy to just hoover you. Thank you for igniting my light with gasoline. The narc doesn't realize they gaslighted brightness, yo. They did. That's really what I'm trying to tell you. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you. And the fact that you're atting me is making your comments stand out. So okay, that's good to know. When you put at mommy so true, your comment stands out. I'm learning so much about all this live stuff. Y'all bear with me. I'm gonna get it. I'm not social media savvy. But you guys, he said it. These people thought they were sitting on your light. They thought they were taking away from you, but they were making you smart. They were making you better. They were turning you into something that now what they're afraid of. These narcissistic family members are now afraid of me. It's like you better watch how you coming at mommy so true now because I'm gonna expose your ass. Y'all been seeing it. They've put me in survivor mode. Now I feel the need to save messages and post it on my channel. That's me being in survivor mode because I'm tired. And that's why I said the pain pushes you to be in survivor mode. It makes you a little bit smarter. It makes you say, you know what, fuck this. You've been hurting me for a little too long. And now, okay, without trying, I'm gonna hit you where it hurt at because I'm sick of this. You got me messed up. You're not gonna keep on running my name down. Nah. I'm gonna let the truth speak for itself. So here I'm gonna go expose those messages. So now y'all hate me. Go ahead. You created that beast. You put me in survival mode. I've learned how to protect myself because of the narcissist. It's very necessary, but I'm very grateful. Thank you for putting me on game because now I'll never be green to your foolishness again. You survive the narcissist because they put you in survival mode. All the lying. Let's talk about it, y'all. The lying and then deceiving. Eventually, what do? You become smart, right? So many of you become so smart, you flip the script. Now they found out you slept with somebody and they're losing their shits. I'm not encouraging nobody to go do what the narcissist is doing and it's tit for tat and none of that, but they put you in survival mode. Depending on your situation, you know what I'm talking about. Some of you have had to get revengeful and do stuff because you got pushed into survival mode. A lot of times people react in messed up ways towards narcissistic abuse, but it's very well deserved for the narcissist. I don't feel bad for some of the stuff that happens to these narcs after they've done stuff to people. Some people done burnt up a narcs cars. I've had people tell me all kind of stuff, and I just sit back and I be like, well, they put you in survival mode, sis. I can't feel bad. Oh, you smacked the new supply? Ooh, woo, she ain't gonna never forget that. She put you in survival mode. Now you're defending yourself physically. I can't be mad at that. They force you to show your ass. They force you to show your ass. And that's part of what I'm talking about when I say you survive the narcissist, because you're born into survival mode. If you've dealt with narcissistic parents or siblings growing up, you've learned to be a fighter. So many of you have beat the shit out of a narcissist physically. I was one of those. That man thought he was going to put his hands on me and get away with it. Oh, I beat the shit out of you. I'm in survival mode, sir. You crazy. You messing with the wrong one. I'm a survivor. I know how to fight for myself. I know how to defend myself. I'm a rape victim and all of that. Is you crazy? I've been in survival mode. Do not play with me. Do not take me for a fool, because that's not what this is. Yeah, I'm a lover. Yeah, I loved you. Yeah, I did all that. But then you showed me that you evil. So now I'm gonna beat your evil ass out my house. Okay? That's survival mode. And that's just what it is. Some of you have had to show your ass because you're a survivor. And a survivor has to know how to switch on when it's time to turn up. Because so many of us, we've been taken for granted, been taken for a weakling. And when enough becomes enough, you have to turn around and show your ass a little bit. You have to show them, hey, let me reintroduce myself to you because you got me messed up. Actually, I'm not who you thought I was. I actually got a backbone. I actually got some self-love over here. So let me go ahead and defend myself a little bit because you thought I would never defend it. I'm a survivor, so I'm going to show you. And that's what I mean by putting you in beast mode. A child that's been denied, a child that's been told they're incompetent all their life, a child that's been isolated all their life, just to wound up in a relationship where you're being isolated by the man or the woman. You're being mistreated. You're being talked down on. Your survival tactics get switched on. How you know how to survive gets switched on. You abandon the narcissist because you are a survivor. So many of you packed up and disappeared on that duck without them even knowing where you were going. No sign. You ain't even let them know what your moves was going to be. You got the hell on. That was the survivor in you. So many of you are going no contact with no remorse because you are a survivor. It was nothing to cut that duck off. It ain't nothing to cut that narcissist off because you are a survivor. You've been in survival mode. It ain't nothing to be like, I'm cool on you. I'm going to shut that door and I'm never going to open it because you're in survival mode. You know what's up. So many of us empaths going no contact, walking away, abandoning that duck once enough is enough. That is easy now. I'm a survivor. I've been cutting people off. Listen, if you've been dealing with narcissistic abuse your whole life, cutting folks off is what you do best. And that narcissist thought you weren't going nowhere until you actually woke up one day and disappeared and fell off the face of the earth on their ass. New number, who is this? Oh, yeah, that's me being in survival mode. I survived you because I've been a survivor. I've been cutting people off. I didn't cut you off because I loved you. I didn't cut you off because I was fighting for you. But then I realized you will never fight for me and you never loved me. So now you're going to get some of this survivorness. I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to turn my back. I'm a gray rock. I'm a cold shoulder your ass. I'm going to leave you on red. I'm going to move away. Whatever it is you're going to do, you did it. You had to do it because that's who you are. You are a survivor. You're able to survive the narcissist because they forced you to be in survival mode. It's been like this your entire life. And thank mom and dad for starting it off. Thank mom and dad for starting it off. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Mom, for making me a survivor because you did. I'm grateful for it. I love you for that. I really do. It's because of you. I recognize that my husband was a narcissist because he reminded me of how you made me feel. That was the survivor in me. When I realized what I was feeling was familiar, that was the survivor in me. The survivor mode came out. So thank you, mom. Thank you, dad. Thank you for anyone who has taught me what being abandoned feel like. For anyone who has taught me what being isolated feel like. You have you have birthed me into survival mode. My God. Miss says, I'm grateful and thankful too because I'm happy to see another day without the misery and pain that someone has brought into my life. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for teaching me how to put my guard up, y'all. Even though we may have ignored red flags and let our guards down with the narcissist, it didn't last that long. It really didn't. Those of you who stayed in the marriage, you only stayed in the marriage because you were a real one. You were a survivor trying to survive a marriage with a narcissist. That you weren't no idiot. You were just staying married because you're a real one. You were trying to stick to that vow because you are a real one, but you're a survivor. You survived that marriage still after all these years. What? You came up with ways to manage yourself in that marriage. People tell me they were married for 15, 20, 30 years. I'm like, how did you do it? You are a survivor. Because I know you were in survivor mode this whole time. I know you were in survival mode this whole time. I know you've had to give this person a taste of their own medicine. You've had to learn how to walk with them, talk to them, deal with them, live with them. You are a survivor. You know what to do. You knew how to deal with it. And you hung on and stood through it until it was time to be free. My God, you know what kind of strength that takes? There are people right now still married to them, but they are survivors because they are figuring out how to get through it. Everybody just can't walk away, but survivors, oh, they can make it work. They can figure it out until it's time to leave them, until it's time to get away. That narcissist is going to suffer in the hands of that survivor. I know it's true. I know it's true. So many empaths married to a narcissist. Those narcissists are suffering because an empath knows how to secretly make you suffer without making it obvious. Because we're survivors and narcissist puts us in survival mode because they betray us. They take our love for granted and we sit there and we see it, but we pretend to not see it. So we hurt them slowly. We hurt them silently. We hurt them by planning our disappearance on their asses. We start moving silent. We start moving in sneaky ways because that's us being survivors. It's coming off as sneaky, but that's you moving in wisdom because you're dealing with a narcissist and you have to move in silence. That is you being in survival mode. A survivor knows to shut up and do things discreetly. A survivor knows to shut up and let that narcissist fight with themselves, not argue back. It's easy for an empath to ignore a narcissist. I'm about to argue with you. I don't even have that kind of energy, sir. So many of y'all have made the narcissist feel stupid, look stupid, and sound stupid. You allowed them to talk to themselves because they thought they were gonna out-talk you and over-talk you. Some of y'all got some of the harshest comebacks. Some of y'all know how to slice and dice these narcissists with y'all words. That's how you survive them. That's how you're surviving them. You slick with those words. You talk like an attorney. You be saying stuff to them they ain't never see coming. Empaths, man, we know how to jab. We know how to shut you down with some words and with our demeanor. Don't play with no super empath. What? What? It ain't no super empath that ain't surviving a narcissist. And if I got a super empath, I just need you to give me a thumbs up. You know you're a super empath, stand on that. You a super empath, you are always going to survive a narcissist because a narcissist is good at putting you in survival mode. They are good at putting you in survival mode. Period. I see them thumbs. They are good at putting you in survival mode. Try me if you want to. I'm a survivor. I've been doing this. A super empath is willing to move out and go live homeless to get away from a narcissist. We don't care. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna take that L, but guess what? When I come out of that, I'm gonna be bigger and better than ever before because I'm not staying where I'm not wanted. That's a super empath. I will get the hell on and go suffer. I will be okay. I'd rather suffer. A super empath gets into survivor mode because we protect our peace at all costs. Point blank, period. Okay? Oh God, we protect our peace. We protect our peace. A super empath don't mind cutting off mama. I love you, mama, but I'm gonna cut your ass off. I don't mind cutting off grandma. Love you, granny, but hey, I don't got nothing for you. Stay over there and I'm gonna stay over here. Don't mind cutting off no siblings. Super empaths cutoff game is strong. Strong because our love game is stronger. We loved you harder than we. So look, you took that love for granted. I did all of that, and you won't slap me in the face. Okay, bet. Here go my round me again. Good luck ever being in my presence again. You've activated my survivor mode. My survivor mode knows when to detach. As a super empath, you know when to detach. You know how to detach. You don't need no therapist or no life coach to come and tell you how to get that narcissist out of your life. You know how to. You know what to start doing. So many of you, y'all know how to get that narc away from y'all. Y'all did it. You survived the narcissist because you were born into survival mode. So many of you pushed the narcissist away by switching up on your demeanor. You switched up in how you move and how you talk. They couldn't stand that. They had to get the hell on. You survived the narcissist because you were born into survival mode. Born into survival mode. Goodness, so many thumbs up. So many thumbs up. My sister says, what have you learned podcast? She says, oh, hey, sister. I also chose homelessness and even was pregnant with baby number 2, but didn't care. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. They pushed you into survival mode. You will not care. You will not care. You guys, the more I think about why I ended up living in a homeless situation with my sister, the more I realize how much I really chose to be homeless around that time because I started to see that she was using me. I was like, man, this girl don't want to work. I don't want to work, and she still don't want to work to at least help us stay alive. Like she's willing to be homeless because I want to be homeless. She's using me. So it made me want to really, really push the whole being homeless thing. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just live in my car. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna actually have peace living in my car, knowing that I don't have to worry about another grown ass adult. Because as soon as I get an apartment, she's gonna come and live there and leech off of me. So I chose to be homeless to break that cycle. As psycho as that sounds, as crazy as that may sound to some people, that is your survivor mode. That is you knowing that you got to get the hell away from this person at all costs. If that means I got to wear one outfit, I'm going to wear that one outfit for however long I have to until I can get some more. Survivor mode in narcissism means you're willing to sacrifice anything you have to get away from it, to run away from it, so that you do not have to deal with it. So many of you are survivors. And I want y'all to keep thriving and keep going. You're so strong. And if you don't know your strength, I hope you see it after today because you're a survivor. You're a survivor by default. They're forcing you to be a survivor. They're forcing you. They should be. The pain should hurt enough for you to be like, man, I am never about to allow this to happen to me again. Are you crazy? I'm not going for this ever again in my life. Hell no. Hell no. Everybody told me I was crazy when I did that years ago. I somewhat believed them. Finding out there's others who've done the same. Wow, this is serious spiritual battle. Absolutely. 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 You guys, I love y'all. Sis, I read your message. You're welcome for those text messages. I know I don't send them a lot, but I do just want to send at least 1 or 2 a month to you guys because I know y'all be loving to hit me up on that phone, but I'm not available like that. I wish I was. I will be one day, y'all. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So many thumbs up, so many people resonating with today's message. It's just facts, y'all. It's mommy so true. I'm always gonna come up on here and speak facts to you guys. I just need y'all to know that the effects of the abuse puts you at a certain place mentally, and they can call it disorders. We have borderline personality disorder, we have bipolar disorder. There are so many different types of disorders that actually come from dealing with narcissistic parenting. But as a survivor and as a warrior, I'm going to tell you right now, be careful everything that you hear and everything you apply for yourself, because just because you carry some traits of some of these issues does not mean you're that. Dealing with narcissistic abuse, for those of you who've been dealing with it since childhood, there's a lot of things that make you seem crazy, but you're not crazy. You are a survivor. It made a message today. Whatever they've made you crazy for, you're just a survivor. You just have your guard up. That parent taught you not to trust. That parent taught you, to not believe in yourself. That parent taught you all of these unhealthy things and all these unhealthy beliefs. But you've survived all of it. You survived it to this point where you are watching today's live to confirm that all of this has been survived because you were born into survival mode. You were born you were born in an untrustworthy environment so that your guard could be up, so that you can go off when people mess with you and trigger you. I'm not saying this is healthy, but your survival mechanism of shutting down, letting people know where you stand, setting boundaries now, is for your own good. Don't let the internet trick you into thinking you're crazy or that something is wrong with you or that you have issues, because I'm seeing that and I'm hearing that a lot. I talk to so many people who think that something is wrong with them because they are in survivor mode, because they don't want to date, because they're shutting people out, because they're cutting people off, because they're going off on folks. You're in survivor mode. And while you're healing, you're going to be in survivor mode for a while. But thank God for being in survivor mode, because it's because of that. It's because of your reactions to the narcissist's actions that you are now in survivor mode and you're thriving out of this. It's brought the strength that you need. Being homeless made me so strong. Now I'm not scared to be homeless. I don't fear not having money or going without. I can be in any environment and thrive. I can be in any situation and survive it. And I thank whoever birthed that. I thank them for that. The narcissistic mom, the dad, the family, whoever has played a role in activating me as a survivor and pushing me into being the warrior that I am. I thank them for that, because I wouldn't have been this person if they didn't hurt me so much. I wouldn't have been this person if they didn't try to get me down so much. So, you guys, that's my word for today. Woo, Shanika Pierce. My mom plotted on me before I got here. Yeah, sis. Those narking moms and dads, man. It's like, yo, really? Like you gave birth to me to make me suffer? Wow. It's painful. It's painful. And it's one of the most sensitive topics to talk about when you talk about the parents and narcissists and the role that the parents play in this. But I'm ending my live soon, you guys. I am going to try to read some of these messages while you guys start to drop off. Thank y'all so much for stopping in on tonight. It's been a blessing talking to you. You guys, it's Mother's Day and Father's Day season. So the parenting aspect of narcissistic abuse for both the victims and the abusers, I am hitting those topics this week because it's necessary. This is the root of the problem. It's the parent. Okay. And so many of us are still dealing with narcissistic parents till this day. Mercedes Martinez says, I moved 3,000 miles away. You got to do what you got to do. Look, sis, that sounds good to me. Look, look, woo, I'm willing to move 10,000 miles away if I have to. But I did. I think I moved I moved very, very far away from narcissistic family members. So I feel you. I feel you. And if God allows, I'm willing to move on to the next country or state soon too. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Oh my God, you guys, this is great. All of these messages, I love it. I love y'all. I'm gonna try to read some before I log out, but I am definitely done with my message, you guys. I don't want anyone to hang on that has to go. It's been lovely talking to you guys. But definitely happy Mother's Day to all of my beautiful mothers, though. Before y'all go, I do want to let that be known. I will always, show love and gratitude to the mothers. Thank you so much. Peace and love. Peace and love, you guys. Absolutely. Um, yeah, for those of you still there though, thank y'all for all the comments. I'm sorry I couldn't get through all of this, but geez, it's just y'all just be confirming that the facts are just the facts. I cannot run from the truth, man. My sister said it would hurt at first in the beginning, but then you get stronger. Yeah, it is. That's part of being a survivor. It's not easy, but it gets better. You get stronger. You just have to stay on that path, stay on that journey, and keep going. You have to just keep going. You have to keep going. As a survivor, giving up is not an option. Giving up is just not an option. It hurts more to give up than to keep going as a survivor, honestly, because all survivors still have goals and visions and dreams. And when you carry a goal and a vision and a dream, giving up is hard, because once you give up, you've lost that vision. Now, like, how do you sleep knowing that you're not thinking about your own vision and your own dream anymore? So you snap out of that. It comes with strength. It comes with strength. That's why I said thank the narcissist, man. Thank them. They are the reason you are surviving them, because they've hurt you so much. It's built the warrior by default. And I can't do nothing but be grateful. I can't do nothing but be grateful. You guys, I love y'all. Peace and blessings wherever you are. Have a wonderful night, you guys. It's been great talking to y'all. I love checking in with you guys on Monday nights, man. Shout out to all my super empaths that were on tonight. All my empaths, you guys are amazing. Y'all know who y'all are. I don't have to come on here and tell you guys about yourselves. Y'all know exactly what's going on, man. You all know that you've become stronger and wiser because of this. Keep going, keep thriving. You got this. You got this. You are a born survivor. They birthed you, they tried to hate you, but they made a survivor out of you. Isn't that some shit? Isn't that some shit? You guys, so much love to you. Until next time, y'all, I'll see you guys in another video, but I'll definitely be back on next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live talking about some more to help us keep going. Keep thriving, y'all. I'm with you guys. Stay true, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye, y'all.